Hi, everyone. I have Tami Uhler with me, who is the CEO and founder of UpPageantry. Under her leadership, she has had 65 official nominations with the Global Beauty Awards and 19 wins. Tami has had more than 40 years of pageant experience. She has been a delegate, the mom of Miss Idaho Teen USA JC Euler, a director, and an owner. So, Tami, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Lately, I've been getting a lot of phone calls, emails, messages about people wanting to be a state director. And I wanted to ask you this question. What do you think most people think being a director is all about versus what it actually truly is?
I think there are a lot of misconceptions out there, regardless of what level you're directing a pageant at. Even some of my staff, who I surrounded myself with amazing people when I took on this endeavor, and gave them a heads up. This is what it's going to be like, and they were still shocked when they got their feet into it. So I can't really speak from a state level, but I think there are a lot of analogous experiences. You really have to understand what you're getting into, and I think that in order to best understand what you're getting into, you need to be experienced in the industry, in a lot of different areas, and people don't really realize that this is for for all but the top few percent of people involved in the industry. This is not a money-making endeavor. If you have an official state qualifying pageant, you're paying licensing fees in order to have the privilege of putting on the pageant. And when you are trying to keep entry fees down and that type of thing, a lot of times you're falling into the red every year. But let's face it, a lot of people who do this job do it not to make money. They do it because that's where their heart is. There are many misconceptions about what does it take to run a state pageant. Is, first of all, it's like planning a wedding every 3 months. I mean, it's like that intense all year long. You're doing stuff all year long to prepare, to get your title holders out there, to do whatever licensing agreements that you have, and maintain those relationships, and to seek sponsors, and to promote, and to work with your community partners, and to try and develop those relationships, and to recruit girls to compete. It's a lot of time. It's a lot more time than people think.
In 2020, you were the Global Beauty Awards Best Director recipient, and in 2021, Best Brand Ambassador. So thank you so much for your contribution in pageantry.
It's really important to highlight people in the industry. I don't think that we've done that at all, or at least not properly, ever before. So thank you guys.
Thank you for being with us from the very beginning. In fact, you also have a legal background. You are a former Placer County Deputy DA with substantial trial experience, and you're a businesswoman. So let's talk about the business aspect of being a pageant director.
Depending upon the level that you're interested in, and whether or not you want to be affiliated with another organization, there are the franchise fees, which are annual. And so people don't really think about that. And then you better have a company of some sort, whether a 501c3 or a limited liability corporation, just to protect yourself from a business aspect. So I incorporated as a 501c3. That takes a lot. That takes a lot of effort to work and get permission from the federal government to run a 501c3. And then, every year I have forms to fill out annually with the state IRS, the feds IRS, the Franchise Tax Board. I have to keep my registry of charitable trusts with the California Attorney General current. There's a lot of paperwork. If you want to do it properly and protect yourself and protect your organization and your reputation and the contestants and your sponsors and all of that, I think to do it properly, I would advise getting advice from a legal expert or a financial expert whom you trust, you work with, and sharing what are your goals, what do you want to accomplish. It takes some intentionality and some thought, before you know what is the right course of action for you. And it depends on what you want to achieve. And we've stayed independent, and we do that for a lot of different reasons. But I knew going in that I wanted the 501c3 in order to get to make that a benefit for my sponsors, so they could consider donations tax write-offs, and so I could go after grants. A lot of thought goes into how you structure the business at the very beginning before you even think about what kind of show you're going to put on and what kind of production value you want to have.
So just a quick recap: franchise fees, you have attorneys, you also have website costs, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Insurance.
That was a big hidden one for me. I hired somebody to do it. I bought the domains, hired somebody to do it for the first 2 years. And when it was costing me $800 or $900 a year just for updates, and I couldn't get updates done timely, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't afford this as a 501c3. I wanted to be able to eliminate that cost. So I taught myself how to develop and produce and maintain a website. So now I do that myself. I mean, I wear a lot of hats, right? You have to if you're trying to save money.
Even just Zoom, having a subscription to Zoom, to MailChimp, those are additional costs. Dropbox.
Yes.
Marketing, yep. Your team, you have a team to pay.
I mean, you have staff and you have a lot of volunteers, which is fantastic, but you have some highly technical requirements and responsibilities to put on a high production value show, and you got to pay professionals for that kind of thing, for sure. And I know venue costs, they're not cheap at all. And you get locked into, I mean, you got to sign contracts, you get locked into, you have room blocks that you have to pay for or guarantee, or you're on the hook. Those are some more of the hidden costs that people don't think about when you say, hey, I want to be a director.
You have to do it for the long haul. It's not something that one and done. You have to really think about long-term. We've been doing this for 21 years, Pageants Northwest, 21 years. So it takes a lot of work. And yes. Tami, any last minute advice, again, for somebody who's like, I'm on the fence, I'm very interested in wanting to be a pageant director, any other advice you want to share with them?
Surround yourself with people of integrity, people who are hard workers, and people who are doing it for the right reasons, meaning the love of the business, the industry, the experience, the coaching, or whatever. I like having the independence, though, to choose where we're going to send our girls. And we do things a little bit differently at a local level. We get invited to over 40 events in the community a year, and I invite all of our court. So right now we are running two local pageants. And so we have about 20 girls that we invite to everything. And so that takes a lot of organizational skills, but we also coach them for state and national and international titles. And we take a survey and we do a retreat. We ask them, what do you think you're good in? What do you need help in? What outfits do you need? And so we kind of help them decide what state pageant that they want to attend meets their needs. What is a good fit for them? Everybody competes in on-stage question, evening gown, and personal interview. And then depending upon what your age category is, our Miss competes in swimwear still. Our teen and our Ms. ladies compete in fitness wear, and our junior Miss and junior teen compete in fun fashion.
Can you walk us through the different age groups with pageantry?
Sure. We start at age 8. We will take 7-year-olds kind of playing up, if you will, if they have stage experience, whether it's, pageants or, acting or cheerleading or that kind of thing. So 8 and up to age 10, 11 to 13 is our junior teen, 14 to 17 is our teen, and 18 to 25 or 26 is our Miss. And then everything over that is Ms. When we have enough ladies in that division, we will separate it out by age, and we do a classic as well, because I've had some, 50 and 60-year-old ladies that do not want to be competing against a 29-year-old. And I can't say that I blame them.
Next year, we're going to have our very first pageant summit. It's going to be on April 27th, 2024. So if you can talk to us, what is the one topic you definitely want us to cover at this pageant summit?
I want to hear from directors and organizations how they are transparent in how they run their pageant. How do they share the information with the contestants?
When we bring together great minds together, we're going to make this industry even better, more transparent.
Absolutely.
It's going to make all of us that much more accountable.